So I want to give you a quick word really quickly. Um, for those people who are trying to manifest things but are having issues with it, I think it's a step. When I first figured this out, it was like the key. I remember texting like my family, like, man, I figured it out. I got it. And we all know that thoughts create things. And this is true. But the piece that we're missing, and some people say, well, yeah, the action, you got to put in action. That too, your thoughts create inspired action. But I think the component that I'm referring to that is most missed when it comes to creating the life that you want or manifesting something into this physical reality is the heart. What do I mean by that? A lot of us spend so much time in the thoughts. I'm trying to manifest that thing. Think about it. Think positive. Thinking healthy, and all of these things are good. But the thing about manifestation, or consciousness, or where we're drawing this energy from, and I'm not so high up to believe that I have all the right answers regarding it. But one thing that I notice is that when something feels right, my intuition kicks in. Oftentimes, I'm in what we consider to be alignment. It feels good, right? When or something, we don't say, oh, I don't think something's going to go well. We say, oh, I don't feel right about this thing. Something don't feel right about it. That's our intuition. We're feeling something. Your heart is where divine creation, manifestation comes from. You have to feel it into reality, right? You know, when we're only lost into the intellectual aspect of things, or we're only thinking about the brain, thoughts, but we neglect how we feel. We can see this all throughout our reality right now. Just turn into your local podcaster, or the podcaster you watch mostly. A lot of the famous ones, you see a lot of it is, and I'm gonna say all of them, so I don't want to go into that aspect, but a lot of them, you know, although they are extremely intellectual, very smart, understand the science and the research aspect behind it. But when we think about stoicism, we often get lost in um, avoiding or neglecting the emotion. We are feeler. We feel things. We are emotional beings. Again, when we have anxiety, that is our warning system that something is off track. And oftentimes, anxiety comes from our perception of the future, what the future might hold, right? Or when we feel depressed and sad about where we are in our current situation, our life, or something has happened, right? Has, past tense. It is in the past. So if we can get our heart aligned, and when I mean heart, a person may can say our heart chakra, we can say whatever the case may be. I say our emotions. Emotion is energy in motion. If we can get how we feel in the present time, if we can create a positive feeling about what we're trying to create. So um, a knowing, or a man, like, think about the feeling that you're going to have, or that you're having, once this said manifestation is a reality. you know it's kind of like, when you have a goal and you think about, the accomplishing a goal, and you're in the process of accomplishing, there is a feeling that comes along with that experience, and that is what magnifies it to you, not just the thinking. All of us is thinking something. We're thinking several, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of thoughts per day. A lot of people say 60,000, 50,000. I don't think that's as important as the fact that it's a true statement. That's a fact. If we want to get super egotistical and which is right and wrong, you're in the wrong alignment anyway. Because I always say it's a thing called, polarity and duality, where, two things can be true, two opposite opposing things can be true. For example, I'm a therapist, and I always tell people, there is a group of people that says, oh man, Chris is such an amazing therapist. You've changed my life, or my kid's life. But then there's also a group that says, hey man, I don't like the guy. He's not that professional, or, he didn't help me at all. Both are true based off of the perception and the reality that they're coming from. So When we come to this thing of creating, when a person said that isn't real, that is true for that person because it's about their perception. But when you get into the alignment of not only are my thoughts aligned with what I'm creating, but my feelings is aligned. It's a knowing, it's a security. But again, because most of us want financial success, we're thinking about, I want to manifest millions, but then we feel lack. We feel struggle. We don't feel secure. We don't feel safe. The thought isn't aligned with the emotions. Those have to be in line. So if I'm creating, all right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So when we talk about content creation, and we're in the space of transparency, there's no such thing as perfection. It's not gonna work. You're gonna get this work. How you gonna get this work? And that's just what it is. And that's the alignment. I know, and I just told you, I know, and I feel that at some point, my channel. It's not about my channel blowing up. It blows up when it reaches the people that it's for, that this content is for, that my message is for. So my goal isn't to blow up my channel. My goal is to reach people who need my message. That's just what it is. So really quickly, but if we're talking, when we're talking about manifesting, the goal is to not only think about it, but we want to get our feelings aligned. We want to feel good about the experience. I want to say, my goal is to be a millionaire. I want to tap into the emotions of what it would feel like to be this quote unquote this said millionaire. We working it today. This should be an interesting video if I'm post just the raw. But really quickly, we're gonna pick this girl up and we're gonna finish this video. But and I'm not gonna do any edits. So if you hang out with me on this part of the video, you my tribe. That's a fact. But for real, once we get into the space where when I was creating things, if I can create the feeling. And one way, I'm gonna give you a way really quickly before I end it, how we start to create the feeling. How do we know what it feels like? So if I'm creating money, if my goal is to become, I want to create $100,000 this year. I want to make $200,000 this year. First of all, we need to create the person. Who is the person? My name is Chris. So who is Chris? Who is he like? The person that makes that kind of money. Is he a good person? Does he give back? Is he calm? The one thing that I am is that money provides what for me? Security. Boom. So if that provides security, how do I become a person that's secure? I want to feel security in my life right now. I can't feel lack, and expect security from this finance. I must feel secure. And there are areas of my life that are secure. I'm secure in my manhood. I'm secure in my fatherhood. I'm secure as a husband. I'm secure in my career. So every time that I'm creating the feeling of secure, that's a feeling. If I'm creating that feeling, what does that feel like? I'm also aligning myself with the finances of security. It's not different. It's not different. It's a feeling that these things bring. People's like, oh man, because most of us, we want all this money from a materialistic level. We want to buy crap. We want a fancy car. And that's okay. Have all that stuff. But that is the thing that we want to tap into. What is it going to like? What is it going to be like to get that car? Not what is it going, what people going to think about me and all of that. But what will I feel like for me to drive that car? What would it feel like me rolling in that vehicle of mine? No matter what it is. That's the thing. A person that's creating or manifesting the coffee, it's not different from manifesting the millions. A lot of it is the of course the feeling. I know for a fact that if I decide to manifest a cup of coffee, I feel like that's going to be true because it's quote unquote simple. The the real goal is how can I understand that it's not different. The small cup of coffee or the bag of money is not different in terms of manifesting. All of it is the same energy. It's how can I get aligned? Not only my thoughts. I want to not only stay in the intellectual side or the brain side, but I also want to tap into the feeling, the emotional side, which is the heart. Okay. All right, I'm about to pick up my baby. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you want more information like this, motivation, family oriented things, we're trying to grow this channel together. All right, peace.